to be more productive. So there's that guy at your place of work that seems to be everyone's favorite. In fact, the boss also loves him. He appears as if he has gotten the hang of everything, and he's so good that he keeps getting all things done easily and fast. Some way, somehow, he's able to wrap up a 40 minutes work in 15 minutes. And now, everyone is starting to describe him as a robot because doing work productively like that isn't common with humans. So, how is he able to do this? How is he able to be more productive than anybody else? Can you also be as productive as he is? Well, welcome to Thriven Authority, and in today's video, we'll be enlightening you on how to be more productive than you've ever been. First, that guy in your workplace isn't a robot, and becoming as productive as he is very possible. You just have to follow certain tips used by productive people. We'll be letting you in on the tips, but before we do so, why not take a moment to tap on that subscribe button and jingle that notification bell for even more interesting tips. Now, here's how you can be more productive. Tip number 1. Focus on MITs first. I know you might be saying, wait, what? I don't even go to MIT. But don't get it confused, because the MIT here isn't a university but your most important tasks. With the breaking of every new day comes a new set of tasks and activities we need to complete. There's a probability you haven't finished that of yesterday, which means you now have a mix of important and unimportant tasks from 2 different days. And according to a study made by Professor Masacampo and Baumeister of Wake Forest University, tasks we haven't done will distract us, but making a plan to get them done can free us from this anxiety. This means, rather than having to deal with the confusion that might come with such a situation, it's better you create a to-do list of all your tasks ordered from the most important task to the least important. By checking off your most important tasks first, you get to do more difficult tasks in a shorter period. This method of focus on your MITs also helps in eliminating procrastination. But if you find yourself procrastinating already and don't know how to stop it, then you should check out our video on how to stop procrastination. Tip number 2. Keep a distraction list. You might be wondering, why would I want to have a list of things that distracts me? The answer to that is simple. A distraction list is like a to-do list for distractions. It's a list of those things that come to your mind during the periods you're trying to stay focused. With everything social increasing in numbers daily, getting distracted from what you truly need to do keeps getting easier. Distractions are not just fun stuff. Sometimes they are also very important, but not as important as what you are currently doing. Replying your mom's message on WhatsApp is important, but not as important as having to fill out the ledger your boss ordered you to. If you say replaying takes just a minute and you head over to WhatsApp, you might end up getting hooked by other people's status updates. A study made in the University of California was able to calculate that it takes an average of 25 minutes 26 seconds to get back to work after an interruption. Instead of waste such optimal time, just write that distraction in a list so you don't forget, and then you can attend to it later. Tips number 3. Break down large tasks. If you've seen our video on how to stop procrastination, then you definitely know by now that the brain doesn't like difficult or large tasks. The human brain was designed to save us from stress and pain. Doing a difficult or large task involves you using more man and brain power and in turn getting stressed. Your brain therefore tends to make you postpone such tasks for later. To prevent this, you need to give your brain a reason to keep going. A study conducted on 157 participants who participated in a brain training game showed that positive feedback from the game created long-term motivation in the participants. This means, if you do deliver your brain with regular feedbacks and progress, you tend to work even more. Therefore, breaking down your large tasks into smaller processes will help you stay motivated and more productive. Tip number 4. Don't forget the 80-20 rule. It is very important that when talking about productivity, we include the 80-20 rule, as it is a building block of time and attention management. This rule was discovered by Vilfredo Pareto, an Italian economist, and it is sometimes referred to as the Pareto principle. According to the 80-20 rules, in any life pursuit, 20% of the efforts put in will amount to 80% of the results that would be derived. This means, to improve your efficiency and be more productive, you need to figure out the most important 20% of your task and then find ways to break down the other 80% of your schedule. In fact, a study conducted by the Harvard Business Review discovered that 90% of managers, through poor time management, wasted valuable time. Instead of finding the important 20% and then breaking down the remaining 80%, they wasted time executing the activities that will deliver the least result. To be more productive, schedule your tasks based on the 80-20 rule. Tip number 5. Learn to take little breaks. Irrespective of how productive an individual might be, having to stay focused for up to 8 hours straight is a difficult feat. You can keep cultivating a habit of staying focused, but maintaining a distraction-free focus for such a long time is impossible. This means, to maintain being productive, you need to take breaks sometimes. A survey conducted by Derek Thompson of The Atlantic shows that workers who utilized programs that reminded them of taking breaks did 13% better work than those who didn't. Invariably, taking an ideal break of 5 minutes after a 25 minutes work is a friend of productivity. Tip number 6. Automate possible tasks. Sometimes, a task you need to complete today is the same thing as what you completed a few days ago with just little changes. All you need to do in such a case is to change a few parameters and repeat the process. This is one part of automation. Automation can also be as simple as keyboard shortcuts or complex as web scraping. A 2019 research made by students from the University's Sultan Zainal Abidin showed that automation does just reduce workload, it also reduces error, thereby allowing more work to be done. To be more productive, try to make use of automation technologies that will auto-complete certain processes for you. This is one of the biggest secrets of every productive individual. Tip number 7. Avoid multitasking. Multitasking is something everyone tries to implement in their everyday lives. However, as good as it may seem, the disadvantage is what stands out the most. Though multitasking is popularly defined as doing 2 or more things at a time, the contrary is what's happening. When you multitask, you are rapidly switching focus between 2 things, but when you switch from one to the other, it would take a few minutes for your mind to reconcile with the task again. Repeating this for a over and over amounts to several minutes of lost time. In fact, a research on multitasking published on the American Psychological Association concludes that most people are bad at multitasking and it's better not to practice at all. Simply put, if you want to be more productive, don't multitask. And that's it. Practice these tips and you will be the next popular guy of the office. If you want to learn more on how to get better at every aspect of life, then be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications bell. See you in the next one.